Alrighty guys, what's up? I'm going to be giving you guys kind of a review of the Duratrax Vendetta 10 years or so after I got it. Um, this car's been good to me. I took kind of a bit of a hiatus for a few years, um, and then got back into it and upgraded it a lot. And it's crazy now. I'm wearing my motorcycle helmet, got my GoPro, so I could talk and manipulate things with two hands. So yeah, let's just jump into it. Found my old receipt. I got this car in 2008 for Christmas. Kelly sold it to me for $100, and total with tax and everything it was $155. And before this I had a Duratrax Raise 1/8 scale nitro buggy. That was my first RC car, real RC car I should say, like enthusiast grade. And then I got this. This was my introduction into electric RC cars. And I haven't had anything since this. Thinking about getting like a Traxxas slash two-wheel drive, because I've always wanted like a rear-wheel drive. I've always wanted a buggy, but I feel like the slashes are just, the most common. There's so many parts for them. They've been around forever. Actually, I remember the Slash just came out right when I started getting into RC. But anyway, so yeah, this is highly modified. As you can see, I got it with the blue and yellow body. It was like my favorite color combo. I guess let's just jump into the batteries. This was the stock battery, 7.2 volt NiCad battery, 600 mAh. Not very powerful, but it was good to start off. It came paired with this wall charger, which I think I have literally never used, because I already had like a nickel metal hydride and NiCad charger for one of my airsoft guns, because I used to be into that. So yeah, this battery, it was okay. It was okay to get you started, or it was okay to use while you were charging up your other batteries, your other better batteries. So unfortunately, I think I sold that charger I used to have, and so originally I had these two batteries and a different charger, and I think they're both dead now. They don't work. I remember when I got back into the hobby around a year or so ago, I forgot how you're supposed to discharge these, so I ran this thing completely dry, and I think one of the cells swapped polarities, so now it's basically useless. And I think I don't remember, but I think the same thing happened to this one. Alright, so then I went on to Amazon, bought this one. It's pretty much the exact same thing, except it's Duratrax branded. These are both nickel metal hydride, 1600 mAh, 7.2 volt. Yeah, so this battery was good. And then when I got this battery and I got back into the hobby about a year ago, I also bought a Brushless, a GoolRC brushless system, which this review is also going to kind of be a review for the GoolRC products, which are just like Chinese knockoff products, I think, on Amazon, which have been alright. They've been good to me. So yeah, we will come back to the batteries. Let's talk about all the original parts. So this car stock, I think this car stock was a really good introduction into electric cars. I feel like I have a really good grasp on it all now. This was the original motor. I don't even know, 380. I don't know what that means. This would not come undone. I think they were welded together, so I just had to rip the, I don't know, it's basically junk now. This motor was alright. It wasn't very fast. It was kind of torquey. I remember it would spin the wheels when you were on concrete with the stock tires, which are right here, which are completely bald and destroyed. This is actually why I stopped using the car, because the tires just got shredded. And I remember I ordered, this was back, this was probably back in like 2009 or 2010. I ordered new tires off the internet and paid for them and everything, and they just never showed up. And I had so much stuff going on back then. I was going to college, and I gave up on it. So I stopped using the car, and it sat for about 5 years until this year. About a year ago, I got back into it, as I said before. So yeah, this was an okay motor. Obviously, the brushless motor is way faster. Something that's weird and is that the pin coming out of the motor, or the shaft, or whatever you want to call it, is like not a standard size. So like, nope, I went to search for new pinion gears because this one wouldn't fit on the brushless motor, and searching for pinion gears and stuff like that was such a pain. This is the original ESC, kind of janky. Like this, what is this, a heat sink right here? I don't even know. Oh man, it's like see-through. You would go, these fins would come out of this hole right here. The body fit really nicely stock. Now it doesn't fit too well now, but that's alright. So yeah, that's the motor and ESC, just chilling. I figured I would keep it just for fun. By the way, I keep for this car, I keep all the parts and, you know, necessary small tools and things in here that I need. Here's my old tires. Here's the stock receiver for the stock radio, which I got. This is an AM radio. I think it's made by Futaba. It doesn't say Futaba on it. What? But it's nice. It's just I switched to 2.4 gigahertz because just the antenna was so long. It looked really obnoxious when people would walk by and you have this huge antenna sticking out. But honestly, the controls on this feel better than this, which is, again, a GoolRC 2.4 gigahertz. Like, the trigger's a little stiffer. It just has a little bit better of a feel on that one. It's a little stiffer. It's alright. This is a good transponder. So yeah, in a second you'll see the size difference between these two. You can already see it. It's right there. This is about 3 times the size of the modern receiver, which is so nice. And the antenna was so long. I remember I had, as you can see, this had to go down and wrap around it. It was just kind of obnoxious. So I just recently got that radio receiver. It's really nice. You don't have to deal with that huge antenna. Got some oil, got a whole bunch of replacement parts, the old servo, some thread locker, pliers, zip ties, blah blah blah. So yeah, I got all the paperwork too back here. You know, decals. That was something that's really nice about Duratrax. It came with a ton of decals. You know, the manual was really nice. It tells you how to disassemble and assemble the entire thing. All right, so where was I? Okay, yeah. So I guess let's just dive into the car. Oh, we could talk about the stock. First of all, we could talk about the outside. Yeah. So these are the stock tires. The new ones are noticeably bigger. I did this for many reasons. I got bigger tires for many reasons. One, because I wanted to go faster. Two, I wanted... Two, there wasn't tires this size. Like this was, it was either this or like something really small that wouldn't fit around my hubs. And I really wanted a street tire because I do most of my driving on the street, which just absolutely shreds off-road tires. These used to be like knobbies. And, oop, almost knocked it off my refried beans work stand. As you can see, just driving this on the road and on concrete and stuff just absolutely destroyed these tires. Yeah, dog's looking at me like I'm crazy. What a beautiful doggy. Hi, doggy. So yeah, these are the stock tires. They were okay for a little while. I drove the absolute crap out of them. Now they're bald and useless. Yeah. Something that's kind of annoying about these tires is they have like a really, like there's a screw that goes into it, and that's it. There's not like a nut and a what you call it coming out of it. So if I were to just use the screw on these, it would just go straight through the hole. So I had to put a washer in there, and it's kind of ghetto, but it works. That's kind of the story about this car. Like, it's all a little bit ghetto, but it works, and it's crazy fast. Let's put those in there, get that out of the way. This is the new ESC controller. The body's held up pretty good. Sometimes when it slides, if you have the body on, it'll there's 3 points. It slides on these, it slides on right here, and slides on the wing. Oh yeah, speaking of these, the stock ones are like a plastic, just kind of like a clip, you know? So when you're sliding on them, they wear away almost instantly. So I had to like kind of ghetto rig. I used like a bolt, some washers, and then a nut on the other end. It's kind of ghetto, but it's metal and it holds up actually really well. It almost looks like it's stock. I don't know. All right, so let's take the body off. Also, I shortened. The antenna only comes up to about here, so I cut it, shortened it. Alrighty. So, let's talk about the suspension. I think the stock suspension had plastic caps on the shocks. Not 100% sure, but I know I had to get new shocks. I really need to put new oil in there. You can kind of feel there's air bubbles. Maybe it leaks a little bit. They work fine for now, but I need to redo that. That's something on my list to do. I got sway bars front and rear. I just put on the heaviest ones. I think I might switch this to the lightest one or just remove it outright because it's kind of a lot of understeer. I want it to oversteer a little bit more. And I need to tighten up the rear diff. So I'm going to talk about the rear diff in a second here. So the front diff it came with stock diffs, front and rear. The stock diffs were plastic geared, which was fine for the original motor, but almost immediately when I got this new brushless motor, within a run or two, like, you would hit the power and you'd hear, and it would just be destroying the rear diff because all the load goes on the rear when you're hitting the power. So the rear diff got destroyed almost immediately. Plastic gears, junk. So I had to get a metal ball bearing rear diff for the back. And it's kind of surprising how many parts are still available for this, even though it's discontinued. Hopefully they stay available as long as possible, because once parts stop coming in, that's when I'm going to have to put this one on the shelf forever, which I don't want to do. I like it. So rear diff is ball bearing, front diff is still the stock plastic gears. Man, it's going to be a long video. I think the front diff is kind of giving out now. As you can see, there's a little resistance, but I don't know, it's a little janky. I need to get a ball bearing diff for the front too. Oh yeah, and it came with plastic axles, which the stock motor broke. I remember I was driving it in my dad's basement when I first got it, and it broke one of the rear axles. So it like just twisted it and sheared it almost immediately. It was crazy. So the car was front wheel drive for a while, and I remember the front wheels were way more worn than the back wheels. It was kind of funny. It came stock with an aluminum middle drive shaft though, which is cool. The spur gear's plastic. Oh yeah, I got new aluminum hubs right here. If that's what you want to call them. I think they're knuckles or whatever. Because the plastic ones broke. My girlfriend's sister drove this car into a curb. I don't know, going like 35 miles an hour. Destroyed the hub. So I got, those are new. What else? I think that's about it for driveline. Oh no, so driveline, I guess that leads right into the motor. So this is a GoolRC 3600 kV motor, which you cannot, at the time of this recording this video, I think I bought the last one off Amazon. Like, I don't think you can get the 3600 kV. I don't think you can get this anymore. But I could have gotten, I think, up to like 7200 kV. I wanted to get the lowest kV motor possible because I wanted to be doing donuts on the road, you know, popping wheelies, with all the torque of the low kV, you know, and this thing has plenty of torque. Yeah. Looking back on it, I probably should have gone like somewhere in the middle, you know, 40-something 100 kV. That probably would have been a little bit better, a little bit faster, and you're not sacrificing too much on torque. So So yeah, I mean, it's still plenty fast. It's still plenty fast to, if you hit anything going near the top speed, you'll destroy the car. With a LiPo battery, which I just got into LiPos. Actually, I'm charging a 3S LiPo right now for it. 1000 mAh. It's a Gens Ace LiPo. 25C. I kind of had to trim the battery bay. I'll show you that in a second for this to fit. Balance charging it right now. Yeah, it's almost done. GoolRC charger, I just picked this up. I just got all the LiPo stuff like a few days ago, like a week ago. I don't know. This is a good product. I think it's just like a clone of every other, 4-button charger. Had to just watch a YouTube video, learned how to use it, learned how to balance charge, how to storage charge, how to discharge, blah, blah, blah. The safety of because I don't want to burn my house or my apartment down. Had to learn all about the safety. I probably should have this in a bag while it's charging, but whatever. One bad thing about this, though, if you're thinking about buying this did not come with a power cord, just like a 12-volt power cord. I had to go to Best Buy and buy this, which was kind of a painful experience because I was just dealing with 17-year-old kids that didn't know what they were doing. I told them I needed like a 12-volt power supply, and they brought me to like iPhone chargers. It's pretty funny. They didn't know what they were doing. But they got it done. They got me the product, and it's actually pretty nice when it comes with interchangeable tips. And on the actual supply, you can change the voltage that you want to output to. This is my PC, by the way. You can watch my video on this beast. Yeah. So, oh yeah, let's show the battery bay. So there used to be this wall right here, as you can see, which fit the nickel metal hydrides, and it actually fits these 2-cell LiPos really well. But the 3S is just a touch too wide. And it was kind of tight with the nickel metal hydrides and the 2S LiPo. So I cut down into there and then snapped it off. I cut twice into here, snapped it off. So now there's a lot more room. Should probably file these down, make them a little smoother. They're kind of sharp. When I put the 3S LiPo in there or any other battery, I put foam in there to kind of cushion it because there's a little more wiggle room now. Yeah, so it's got a 35A, I think that's 35 amp ESC, which is able to run a 2 or 3 cell LiPo or 4 to I think 6 cell nickel metal hydride. Not sure about NiCad. I'm a little skeptical to use that on here, which I don't think I will ever use that on here. It's kind of dusty. I was just running it yesterday. Zip tied that down. There's tape under it. I probably don't need to zip tie it, but just figured extra security would be nice. Man, this receiver is just, look at how much room the old one took up. From the end of this all the way to the post, that's how much room it took up. Plus it was really tall. The new one is just so tiny. Love it. And it makes a blue light. The more lights, the better. So there's a light on here, on the ESC, and there's a light on here. Beautiful. I should probably get new shocks. There's heavier shocks you can get. These are just like medium, or springs I should say. These are medium springs. Kind of want to get the green heavy ones. Yeah, so the LiPos, this is the 1000 milliamp hour 3-cell LiPo. Car's an absolute monster with this thing in there. Just rips wheelies at like top speed, 40 miles an hour. I don't even know. I think it goes 40. It could go higher. I have 2 of these 2200 mAh 2-cell LiPos. They're basically the exact same size. I could just show you. As the nickel metal hydrides. They're chilling in my LiPo safe bag, which I store them in. Now, these came with the Traxxas connector, and clearly I have the Dean's connector, so I can't use these yet. I bought these because I was like, oh, Traxxas connector, but it came, or it was supposed to come with a Dean's adapter and some other adapter. I don't know what it was, but it was supposed to come with Dean's adapter. I ordered one. I ordered this one, and I ordered this one just, just to make sure that, one of them would work. Because I was skeptical if they would both fit or work or whatever, so I ordered 2. This didn't come with the adapter, so I called Amazon. They sent me a new one. And again, didn't come with the adapter. So I'm going to have to order an adapter online. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So just be aware if you're going to buy the Gens Ace 2200 mAh Traxxas connector 2-cell LiPo. Apparently it just doesn't come with the adapters. So even though it says it does. Which is really annoying. I also picked up this thing. I don't know exactly what it's called. Little voltage checker and alarm. Just show it working. The dog doesn't like I make the noise. 2-cell, all 762, 767, 383, 384. Okay, so this is really nice to check. Make sure your LiPos are in storage mode. Storage mode. They're at the correct voltage for storage, I should say. Which they are. They're balanced almost perfectly. This is just really nice. I love this thing. It's so cool. Apparently you can change where the alarm, because you can actually run this in your car plugged into that little plug, and it will beep and go crazy when you're at low voltage. This is really nice. I recommend this thing highly. Okay, let's speed it up. Okay, so the stock servo was absolute crap. It was plastic gears. It was really slow. It was really like no torque at all. It was just really bad. And I had it super glued. I remember when I came back into it, I was like, what the hell did I do? Because there was this hold down, this carbon fiber hold down was just not there. There was nothing, like, when it comes stock, there's nothing holding it down, just tape. So it broke the tape loose. It was wobbling around in here. I hot glued it like crazy. Such a mess. It took a while to scrape all that out of there. I took a Futaba S3305 Metal Gear. I think it's a high torque. It's really high torque. I can't even turn it right now. I'm probably going to break one of the plastic turnbuckle things if I try. The torque is insane. It's made for like an 8th scale buggy. It could be a little faster. I'm thinking about getting a new servo for this. That would probably be one of the last things I get. It's just like a new servo. New servo, new diff for the front. And then I think I would be done. I really want to spend like $50, get a really fast and twitchy servo. Unfortunately, I had to cut off the little screw mountings on the sides. Otherwise, it just wouldn't fit. Cut those off. Fits perfectly. I bought the servo hold down tray or whatever you want to call it, which is amazing. It holds it down awesome. It looks awesome. Gives your car just a really nice, like, polished look with that carbon fiber. That should have come stock, or something like this, like plastic, should have come stock. I think Duratrax kind of dropped the ball on that one. Servo motor, ESC, transmitter. Am I forgetting anything? I think that's about it. Oh yeah, this was the Team Losi. Had to pick this up. Oh yeah, okay. So this is funny. You're like, what the hell is going on here? You're switching the red and black. So I picked up this motor, picked up this battery when I got back into the hobby about a year ago, and I was all stoked, and I'm like, oh okay, this this doesn't fit in here, So I went to my local hobby shop, picked up an adapter, this to Dean's, plugged this in. I'm outside with my dad, I just got the motor all installed, I'm all hyped. Grab this, plug it in, and the connections on the battery instantly melt. And the battery drops to the ground, and we all freak out, and something was hooked up backwards, so we figured out that this was backwards. The wires are hooked up backwards, so we shorted out the whole system. I don't know. The battery melted the connectors. Luckily, nothing was destroyed on the ESC or the motor or anything else. Just the connectors on the battery we had to resolder. And so, us being, I don't know what we were thinking. Instead of just cutting this open, and which I think we did cut it open because I have it zip tied with electrical tape. Instead of just cutting this and rewiring it the right way, we soldered on these backwards. Soldered on the wires backwards so that this would work. But then we're like, oh wait, what about charging? So then we had to like ghetto rig, like we took connectors from the motor and all the old electronic parts, and we made this thing. It's so ghetto, it's embarrassing. But it works, whatever. So I just have to really pay attention if I get another one of these, which I probably won't, to like make sure I do the right thing so I don't hook it up backwards again. If you get the GoolRC, I think this is like compatible with all of their ESCs, which is really nice. It's got the low voltage cutoff. You could turn it completely off, or you can set it to what you want it to be. Soft, medium, or strong starting modes. You could set the brake force, you could set the reverse force, you could set the neutral range. Really easy, really fast to do. I like this thing. I actually need to use that here in a second before I go out. So yeah, this has been a good buggy to me. It's fast, it's small. You can throw it in your backpack. You can go wherever you want with it. You know, took some money to get it to where I wanted it, but I think this is kind of the state that I wanted in. I had to cut this open so that these wires, because it would just not fit before. It would look like this. It was just like way too high, so I had to cut that open. Fits a little better. Oh yeah, the body hold down screw or whatever stripped completely out of there, so there's just no back hold down. It's held on by one. It's held on by one clip, luckily in the front. So yeah, this has been a good buggy. It's fast. Does wheelies. Does everything I want it to, pretty much. It's good. Yeah, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave any comments if you have any comments. See ya. Hey, what's up, guys? Forgot to mention, forgot to finish on the pricing of my thoughts on GoolRC. I think it's good. I'm filming this on my iPhone. Sorry about that. Man, I think I got this motor and ESC combo for like $30. You know, whereas I remember when brushlesses, you know, first started becoming big and lipos were big. It was all so expensive, and it was just like. It was like a pipe dream to get brushless and lipo, and 2.4 gigahertz. Like this radio was, I think, like $20, maybe 30. So this was 30. That was 30. Lipos are super cheap. I think each one was like $15. Just so cheap. That's what's the beauty about Amazon, and I think the hobby is just getting cheaper and cheaper. It's great. I think if anything's brushed, anything's comes stock brushed, that's just like, that is not acceptable in today's world. You can get it a lot cheaper. So yeah, I think GoolRC is pretty good. I like it. I'm gonna keep using it on future builds, if I have any, hopefully. Yeah, see you guys.